Let's talk about Cody Rhodes because I got some thoughts on Cody Rhodes. We have some we have some theories on Cody Rhodes. This is from Tranquilo Club. I've tried to watch his videos before and they're just so goddamn fascinating that I have nothing to say, but I think I have stuff to say about Cody Rhodes. So let's see if this helps me talk about it.
The reality is that I dominate the newsfeed, that I monopolize the budget. It must feel so good to have a star that hasn't faded finally in this building.
And that I am the hero in this story.
Oh my God, he's such a good fucking heel. If you don't know how good of a heel Cody Rhodes is, he's like the fucking best. The fucking best. He is so goddamn menacing when he cuts a heel promo. That's why everybody wants him to go heel. He's really, really good at it.
What's the difference between a hero and a villain? It's quite simple. A hero does what's right. A villain does what they think is right. A hero has the awareness to be able to tell.
See, Cody might be playing 4D chess on us. Straight up. We all know this. I mean, some of us are choosing to ignore it and just fucking hate Cody. I mean, we're being marks. When you're booing Cody and his every fucking move and his lame fucking superhero entrance and all his bullshit, you are being a mark. I think you are a fucking mark to him. I want to believe that. I want to believe there's a fucking plan at the end. Cody does that all the time. This story isn't fucking uncommon. Yeah, it looks like Hook told him to slap him. Yeah. Another story about that was with Eddie Kingston. Cody backstage is like the most awesome fucking dude. And yeah, I think he totally has. He's working on something here. I have faith that Cody's not just being a dipshit. And when he says things like, I'll never turn heel, it's part of it. I believe it's part of it. It's not breaking kayfabe. This motherfucker, he's onto something.
What morally the right thing to do is. Take Peter Parker, Spider-Man, for example. He knows that with great power comes great responsibility. He has a gift, so he must use it to do the right thing. Compare this to someone like Thanos, who believed he was doing the right thing by wiping out half the universe, but really, it was morally inhumane. Every villain is a hero in his own mind. Now, when it comes to professional wrestling, the villain, or otherwise known as the heel, usually comes with its own tropes and cliches. When someone becomes a villain in wrestling, also known as turning heel, a lot of the times it's often done with no real purpose behind it. The heel turn is often used as a shock factor when telling a story in professional wrestling. This can come in the...
That's exactly what Cody doesn't want to do. He doesn't want to just turn heel to turn heel. He wants to like do some epic shit. Some epic shit that hasn't been done. That's what AEW is all about, is doing shit that hasn't been done. So they don't want to do anything you've ever seen before, which would be like the normal heel turn, which is what the audience wants. The thing is, the audience is dumb and doesn't know what they want until they get it. It's true. Absolutely. They don't know. They think they know, but if they get it, they would only be happy until, they would just want the next thing and the next thing. It wouldn't truly be worth doing unless it defies expectations, which is what they're working at doing in AEW. Not traditional storytelling, long-term storytelling, doing something that hasn't been done in the last, 100 years of fucking wrestling.
The form of someone backstabbing their partner or cheating to win. Like I said, it's not done organically. It's done to get a gasp out of the audience. But what a lot of wrestling fans don't even realize is that we've been seeing a supervillain origin story unfold over the past year. And here's the twist. The audience created him. Cody Rhodes, the topic of many discussions over the past few months amongst wrestling fans, has just become TNT champion for the third time in his career, only this time he's become the villain and he doesn't even know it.
The booze started in New York when they did the Grand Slam. That's the first time he really got booed. Maybe there was some boos here or there. Maybe there was some online hate. But here in New York, they're very vocal and they'll tell you what they think. And they had enough of Cody's shit. And they wanted to see Malachi Black win. They wanted to see Malachi Black be a huge fucking star. And they didn't want any of Cody's bullshit. They were tired of it. He switched over to this like all-American kind of getup, it does not fly here. Like that shit flies in Florida. In Florida, he was doing that shit and people were like, woohoo, America. Here in New York, they were like, no, Malachi Black. Yeah, we saw Homelander is what we saw. We saw fuck you, asshole. And we saw Malachi Black. We want the tattooed fucking crazy demon coming out to the death metal and screams. We're just wired that way. Okay, that's how we roll here in New York and New Jersey. So those are the fans that came out, and he got the biggest boos I ever heard, to the point where Cody was fucking shocked in the ring. He was visibly taken aback by what was happening. It was clearly not scripted. It was kind of wonderful, actually, to see something so not scripted just play out. They didn't try to fix it. Just was what it was. They did another show the next night in upstate New York, and the boos were less, but still very present on the match, and very much against Cody, and cheers for Malachi Black, who they kept running this program with. Now, he did come out and do a very famous promo with Arn, where Arn talks about his Glock, kind of buries Cody. Doesn't help. Maybe that's part of the plan, was to have Arn come out and bury Cody with the Glock promo. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's fucking classic. Just type in Arn Anderson and Glock and you'll get it. Yeah, the New York crowds are fucking brutal. They're brutal on the WWE shows too, but they edit in cheers where they want them and boos where they want them. So they fix that. They filter that out when you watch it. If you go see it live, it's different. They'll straight up start up AEW chants and shit. And sometimes it gets left in. But anyways, in AEW, it's always left in. They never fix it. So you got to give them respect for that. So they do the Arn promo. Arn kind of buries Cody in the promo. They keep going with this. I see a night come out where he's not getting booed as much. But then Cody, they have a mixed tag match with like Cody and Pac versus Andrade and Malachi, and it's a fucking mess because the crowd is booing everything Cody does. Cody walks out, boos. Cody steps up on the ring, boos. He can't fucking lift a finger without getting booed like all night, to the point where it actually like destroys the match. Like it's ridiculously bad. And you know they're cheering Malachi, but they're booing Andrade. It's so weird. And it's like, it's cool to boo Cody at this point. Like, it's just awesome to boo Cody. It's got to be crazy fun to be in the audience and just doing something you're not supposed to do. Totally booing the heel. Very, very interesting situation that Cody finds himself in right now.
Because as stated earlier, every villain is a hero in their own mind. This is now my third video on the story of Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, the guy hands his gimmick is he comes out and he has like a weightlifter's belt on. He takes it off and he throws it into the crowd. Now, recently, he has been giving his belt to disabled people, like children with terminal illnesses. This is getting booed. Like, the crowd hates him so fucking much. They will boo him. And these are like $300 belts. These are not cheap. These are fucking engraved, like specialty belts commemorating the match usually. Each one unique. Holy shit. He's like the nicest guy too. Backstage, he puts over everybody. He's just... I haven't heard anything bad about Cody, at least in AEW. I don't know about before, but in AEW, everybody fucking loves him. Everybody says great things about him.
In AEW. If you haven't seen the other two videos, I'll put them in the description below.
He tells people to make fun of his neck tattoo. His neck tattoo is fucking absurd, but yes, multiple wrestlers have shot promos on his neck tattoo. They all get heat off of it.
The story of Cody Rhodes is slowly becoming one of the biggest things in AEW, and I know a lot of people can't see it yet, or they're just too scared to admit that they've been worked for the past few months, but it's
Marks. You guys are fucking marks. I'm telling you right now, if you hate Cody, if you don't think if you can't see where this is going, you're a fucking mark. 100%. This is going to play out. This guy isn't fucking dumb. Think what you want about Cody. He's not fucking dumb. The guy makes a lot of money. He's got multiple TV shows. He's in charge of his own wrestling federation. He got out from underneath Vince's thumb. This guy is very intelligent. And I don't think that, I think there's something that's going to happen here. If it's going to happen the way he wanted it to, I don't know. But I don't think he's doing all this, letting all this happen. And he's not going to capitalize it on it some way and do something fucking legendary.
very clear where AEW is taking the character of Cody Rhodes now. Over the past few months, Cody Rhodes has been laughed at, mocked, made fun of. They even threw his belt back in Chicago, and wrestling fans who think they're smart thought they were actually doing something that they weren't supposed to. They thought that by booing Cody's character that he would eventually be forced to quote-unquote turn heel, without knowing that he already has. AEW is operating on a different level when it comes to the character.
Yeah, this is the Homelander suit. If you haven't seen The Boys, that's also a great series that's on Amazon. Highly recommend it. I didn't want to watch it, and then I did, and then I was happy I did. And this getup, he's absolutely doing the Homelander getup. He knows what the fuck he's doing. He's not a fucking idiot. And if he doesn't know, somebody fucking told him, and he figured it out, and he's rolling with it. He's like, how can I look like a fucking evil superhero? And they're like, oh, wear this shit.
Character of Cody Rhodes. We have...
It's like when Sting, dressed up like the fucking Crow. Maybe he wasn't the biggest fucking fan of the Crow, but they were like, he's like, I want to play like a vigilante character. They're like, oh, wear this shit. I think it was Raven that told him, right? He was like, hey, wear this shit on your face. Then you play a vigilante character, it'll go over big. He's like, I want to be an evil superhero. Oh, wear this shit. Do this, dude.
Decided that he is the villain. We have pushed him to the brink of pure delusion. The heel turn was Cody continuing to do what he believed in, just like Thanos. Because remember what I said at the beginning, a hero does what's right, whether he wants to do it or not. But a villain continues to go down the path that others don't want him to be on, because he thinks he's doing the right thing. For Cody to do the right thing, he would have had to have snapped and done a traditional heel turn, but you're not getting that, because he would just be cheered if he did. Because Cody refuses to acknowledge that he's no longer the hero in this story, he automatically becomes the villain. You think the grand entrance, the subtle hints at an actual heel turn are not being done by design? AEW...
This moment right here, the heels come out of the left, and the good guys come out of the right. So, and they leave out the left and leave out the right. So when he starts leaving out the left, that was just like it was a big fucking tease. Like, it's a big moment. I believe this was the night that the belt got thrown back at him, which was probably a fucking work. Wrestling is fake. Okay? I don't know if you know this or not, but it's a fucking soap opera for men. So when the belt gets thrown back, probably meant to happen, probably worked in some way or not, and probably worked to the point where it didn't look like a work. Next level shit, maybe, might also just be stupidity, but once again, also kind of thinking this guy might be a genius.
He knows exactly what they're doing with Cody Rhodes, and I'm gonna point out something in this video that I don't think anybody has pointed out yet, at least not that I've seen. Cody Rhodes hasn't worn a suit on TV in months, and this began right around the time...
That's not quite true. No, it was really recently. I believe the show in upstate New York, he came out in his suit to beat up Malachi. This was when they did the spot with, what the fuck is her name? They had a celebrity down in the audience. Rosario Dawson. They had Rosario. I don't know why the fuck they had Rosario Dawson, but they did. And Cody came running down and he was like in a red suit. So he has done the suit. I think he did it another time more recently as well. So it's not true.
That Malachi Black sprayed Cody with the mist, clearly giving him a character change.
Yeah, that's bigger. Malachi spitting mist in people's face is definitely foretelling.
a subtle one. This is no longer the same Cody who a lot of you claimed to be tone deaf. This is a Cody who behind the scenes knows exactly what he's doing, but in character, he doesn't know why the crowd has turned on him. And that's why he continues to do what he thinks, keyword thinks, is the right thing to do. But the very real difference between Cody's character and, for example, Roman Reigns when he was being rejected as a babyface is that
I mean, it's a very interesting angle to get into, and I'm curious to see where they'll go with it. All right, what wrestling fans are pissed off about is they don't want another John Cena. They don't want another Roman Reigns. AEW was never supposed to do this to us, right? However, what if they're doing it to address it? What if they're doing it to talk about it? Like here, when he almost goes and does the pedigree, right? That's interesting. They're commenting on these things that happened in WWE by doing them in AEW. Not because they're actually doing it. Cody's constantly putting over new talent. Cody's not taking a championship belt. He's not holding people down. So it's different. But yes, he's not turning heel. And we might see maybe a more exaggerated version as it goes on, to make it clear to the cheap seats.
now and then, Cody acknowledges the booze and teases a pedigree, but every time he decides not to hit it. But one day, he will. But when that happens, Cody will be at the point of no return. He'll hit it on a top babyface that's beloved by the AEW audience.
What a good one, to hit it on Hangman. We were talking about that, me and my friend Wolf, who's in my alliance. We were like, what babyface could he just fuck up? We think that Cody is gonna go full insane heel at some point and just fuck someone up. He might fuck up Adam Page. That might be something right there.
Audience, and he'll do that because we're the ones who created him. It won't be a turn that came out of nowhere that was done for shock factor. It was done because it led to this. We created a villain, and half of you don't even realize it. You think you're doing the cool thing by booing Cody Rhodes, but you're actually doing exactly what AEW wants. And Sammy Guevara was just the beginning. Maybe some of you will finally realize what this all led to when Cody Rhodes goes back on his word and wins the AEW World title.
Wow, that would be a hell of a way to play it out. Because, he said he would never win the title. This was years ago. He was and that's long-term storytelling right there. He said, I would never challenge for it again. He challenged for it once, he lost. He said, if I lose, I'll never challenge for it again. But he can do whatever the fuck he wants. It's wrestling. There's no real rules. It's made up. It's fake. You can trust me. I'm Mr. Hartgrave. Grave Diggers, let me know who the fuck you are. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe below, and keep fucking digging.